Hey everybody, and welcome to a special edition of our map First Impressions video series. This map is not a First Impressions map for me. This is kind of a map. It's like a kind of like an old friend. It's kind of like a coming back to your hometown after you've been gone for 10 years. I do a play series on Serenity Valley version 4.1. And this map is simply a continuation or an enhancement of that map, and it's Serenity Valley version 5.0.3. I believe 5.0.4 may be coming out very soon to correct a small issue that he found at the pig area. But at any rate, this map is what I consider one of the 10 best maps for a farming simulator, simply because of how it's laid out. It just lays out very well. Well, enough about that. Let's just go ahead and jump on in. So we're going to pick our Gator to drive around in. And while this is loading up, I want to describe kind of some of the differences between version 5.0.3 and version 4.1, which I am using on my play series. And that is that Rockhound, who is the author of this map, has added 5 additional crop types. They include millet, triticale, rye, oat, and spelt. He has added several industries, including a pallet factory, a milk factory, cardboard factory, a sawmill factory, sugar, a refinery, dairy production, and greenhouses. He's removed the second train from all of the trains on the map. He's reworked the BGA, and you can kind of see that. As you can see, there were no errors on map load up. Okay, so he's reworked the BGA, and you can kind of see that here on the preview slide. The bunkers are gone, and instead there are 2 fermentation silos and a Digest Separator. He's added a mixing station for TMR and pig food. He's added seed and fertilizer production. He's added a fuel cell trigger and a milk collection and cell trigger. The game will not sell milk automatically. You must sell it manually. He's added fuel, seed, fertilizer, both solid and liquid storage at the Maine Farm. The map now has 36 fields instead of 38. And basically that was done to make room for some of these industries that he added. And let's just go on in and kind of see how things have been changed. So our start point's the same. This is our same farmhouse. Just like I said, I think those of you that are familiar with this map will really feel like you're coming home, or coming back to a town or a place that you've been for quite a while, and you see lots of familiar things. But then there are so many things that are new and different that make the whole space just a little bit more special. So let's take a look at the map. So you can see we start out with, here's the added crop types: oat, rye, triticale, spelt, and millet. You see we start out still with a substantial number of fields. We own fields 1, 2, 4, 17, 10, 11, 16, 8, 14, 15, 13, 12, 18, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 34, and that's it. Oh, and 31 over here. So we start out with basically we own about half the map from the beginning. And let's take a look. Thankfully on this version, most of these fields are not ready to harvest right away. I think on version 4.1, most of these fields you start at a ready to harvest state, and man, did that make a really busy first couple game days trying to get all that harvested. So you can see that there are several sell points for your bulk of your crops. There's one railroad exclusive sell point. And then you can see here's the extra industry items on the map. And you can see that Anna Bakery and the Windy City Grill are two of the main buy points for most of these extra products. You can see that we start out with a very large list of equipment, and it's all new. Let's go ahead and borrow up some money so we can buy some animals. So we start out with no animals, nothing in the various feed and water areas, and our silo has a capacity of 2 million liters. There are gold nuggets on this map, similar to how there were gold nuggets on previous versions of Serenity Valley. So let's take a look at the very, very generous starting equipment. So we start with several Dutzfar Series 7 tractors. We have several Series 9 tractors, 2 sets of forks, arms, pallet and bale fork. We have 4 semi-trucks. We have 4 New Holland CR 1090 harvesters. We have 2 corn headers. We have 3 grain headers. We have a sugar beet harvester and a potato harvester. We have a plethora of tippers. We have a cultivator, a seeder. We have the New Holland self-propelled sprayer. We have an assortment of weights and our butterfly pottinger mower and the front mower. We have the lily hibiscus windrower. We have the large forage wagon. We have a bale stacker. We have a square baler, our pickup truck, an animal transport trailer, a logging trailer. We have this Sampolo logging harvester. We also have the Scorpion King harvester, and we have the Ponzi Buffalo for basically transporting logs. And that's it. Believe it or not, that's it. That's a ton of equipment. Easily, if you wanted to sell all this equipment off, you would have a large amount of money to get started on your map. So let's take a look at the Maine Farm. Like I said, those of you familiar with Serenity Valley, most of this Maine Farm area will be familiar. You will see, though, a few changes. One of those changes, most notably, is this building here to the left. This has been an add to the map. Big, large storage building here. And then the wash bay has been moved down here by the chickens. He mentioned that he smoothed out some areas. This area here was fairly rough earlier. It's got some bumps still to it, but this road in particular down here was extremely rough. It was quite hard to drive down without your truck or tractor basically being kicked all over the place. Looks like we still got some bumps here, but here's the biggest bump that we got to worry about. There you can see the dairy off in the distance. So let's take a look around the farm some more. So here we have a couple new things added to the farm. To the right we have a fertilized storage tank. This is for, this looks like it might be slurry storage. And this is fertilizer storage. Over here we have fuel storage. And then in here we should have a fleet of semi-trucks and trailers. There we do. We have a white truck with a white trailer. We have a red truck with a red trailer and a red truck with another red trailer. And over here we have 2 storage buildings for some of the production Looks like this is for, what is that? Is that the molasses product storage? And then this is storage for sugar. And the way these work is you put in your product here and you get your product out back here in pallets. So you put pallets in on the other side and you get pallets out on this side. Alright, there's nothing in this particular storage shed. Like I said, I'm a little biased toward this map review or map video because I do really like Serenity Valley so terribly much. But you know what? I think if you gave this map a try, you would like it also. So here we've got some of our equipment. We have a fuel point there. Here we have a repair our customization bay, gold nugget, right here by our little fireplace. All right. So here we have storage for seeds and solid fertilizer. This is where we sell our hay, straw, and grass. This white structure is our farm silo. You see the wonderful spinning fans in there. There's fans that are spinning inside of here. So you tip in and you tip out right there. And on this particular version of this map, there's an information board right here on the side. And when I first saw this, I really thought that this information board worked out a lot better than when it was stuck over here on the side. It's lower, it's easier to read. I really like this. It looks like it's very much a part of the building and not something that was added later. So I just like that a lot. Alright, so over here we have a storage shed. These doors do open. Here we have our sprayer and some more of our tractors. So I saw posted on one of the websites that has this map on it. Someone was commenting about the gates and the gates here at the Maine Farm. Basically, that there are too many gates and whatnot. And you know what? I opened these gates the very first time I looked at this map and started getting it ready for my play series, and I've never touched the gates since. They stay open and they're not in my way at all. So here's a potato and our sugar beet harvester. So for those of you that are gate haters, you know what? It takes one trip around the map to click, and there your gates open, and you never have to worry about it again. So here we have our pig food mixer and our forage, our TMR mixer. So these take wheat and barley in this one, potato or sugar beets in this one, corn or soybeans in this one, and you get out your pig food pre-mixed, ready to go. Silage, straw, and grass or hay in here, and again you get your power food, your TMR right there, ready to go. So here you have a feed or a seed refill point. Oops. So this is kind of just a dead space back here. There's actually, that does do something. That must be a fertilizer fill point. That's new, I think. At least I've never used it. Then we have a lot more storage sheds over here. And you could say this building has got your bundle of treats in it. We have not one harvester, not two, not three, but that's right, there's four. As I mentioned earlier, there are four New Holland 1090 harvesters in here. And over here we have the headers. And this is really a really cool way of storing our headers. So we come up here and we can see that move only one shelf at a time. If we pull up the F1 menu, left click will move shelf, right click will move shelf 1 down. So I wonder which one's shelf 1. Okay, shelf 1 is the bottom shelf. So I'm holding down the right mouse button. Alright, so I'm lowering the header. So you'll be able to lower your header here and then pull up to the harvester, pull your harvester up to it and connect your header. And then, oops, I had that happen earlier. I'm not really sure what's going on with that, but any rate, you'll still be able to pull in there and pick that up. I appear to be stuck. There, we just not sure what happened there, but I appear to have gotten stuck somehow over there. Well, at any rate, that's the Maine Farm. So let's buy our John Deere Gator. Okay, here she is. Now let's hit reset and see what happens. So our Gator resets back to the shop, which is fine. We're just going to go ahead and hop out at the shop. So this is the shop. It's right down the street from our farm. So in this shop we have a fuel point. We have a repair bay. Okay, and this is a nice little treat here. Tony, aka Rockhound, told me about this, and he's like, I don't really know what happened here, but we'll find Jenny's jungle here in a little bit. And basically, I told him, I was like, well, it's pretty clear what happened. Is Jenny's married to the guy that owns this shop, and she had a whole bunch of extra signs made up that she didn't need anymore. So she gave them to her husband, and he plastered them all over his repair bay to kind of give some free advertising to her greenhouse business. So that's what the gist is. That's the story. I'm sticking to it. So here's our shop. All these doors are interactive. And this is where your equipment will spawn. When you purchase equipment, it will spawn over here, and there's a long, wide area for the equipment to spawn in. We've got a wonderful sign here, Serenity Valley Tractor Supply. So I guess I should get out and open this gate. Well, you can see we have traffic on the map. We're just going to go this way, and I'll show you basically the farm is right there. So the store is very conveniently close to the farm. And the farm has a couple different roads. We've got this road here that's been significantly smoothed out. This road was pretty rough earlier. It's got some rough points, but it was a lot rougher earlier. So we hear some water. So here we have a little pond. Now be careful, because this is deep, and should you drive your tractor through these hedges, it will become lost until you reset. So this road will take you around the back of the farm and connect you with the animal areas, and we'll go there next. I just wanted to drive here around the house. There is a really nice entrance to the main farmhouse right here. And right over here, we have a really nice sign basically welcoming us to Serenity Valley. And then this is that other road that I mentioned that was really rough in previous versions. It's still a little rough, but I don't think it's as rough as it was before. And before it was brutal. You would easily have your truck jumping all over the place. Alright, so let's go and check out our animals. And the quickest way to get to our animals is to come out this road and take this little back way. These two fields in front of us are owned by us. They're two of the larger fields that we own. This map does have missions on the fields. And I'm thinking that the grass is starting out at a lower growth stage than previous versions. I don't remember the grass being this short, but I could be wrong. So over here we have a gate. Again, this is a gate I opened a long time ago and have never closed, so I kind of forgot it was there. So over here we have our sheep and pig areas. So this is where our wool spawns. This is where we will buy or deliver our sheep. And there's our sheep. We've got a nice area here to roam around in. Some trees to give some shade. A little shed they can walk into, and a nugget. And then within this little shed here is the feed and water trough areas. And then these doors operate. So we have kind of our mowing equipment over here. We've got a couple of tractors over here to do our grass work. And kind of our equipment for our grass is over here. So this is the pig area. We have our liquid slurry point here. Our manure is across the way there. And this is where we buy our pigs. There they are. Now in here we have a water trough. Or actually this is a feed trough for the pigs. Sorry. And in this shed, I like how this dips down, like this could be filled up. You know, in a rainy period, this would fill up with water and just become a giant mud pit. Perfect for the little piggies. Here we have our water trough in here. If it is hot, the pigs can come in here when it's and get out of the heat a little bit. Both of these doors do open, so you can just pull through. And here is our manure area. And this is where you would put your straw in. Okay, so that is the sheep and pig areas. And now we're going to go check out the cows. The cow zone. So our cow area is right off here to our right. And we have another fence. Okay, so in here we have a few things. This is where we will fill our milk. Nice sign there to clearly mark where we get our milk from. This is where we will unload or buy our cattle. Okay. And in here we have manure and slurry pits. Okay, we have a water trough and a grass trough out here. So here's our grass trough, and our water trough is right here. We do have water right here, and you can back down in this and fill. It's kind of a steep bank, so you're going to want to either fill a small trailer or use a very big tractor to back down here and get your water. Water from there is free. Water from the water tower there does cost some money. So here in the milking area, we have our long feed trough, and this is typically where you would put your silage or your TMR. So we have a water tower there. We've got a long storage shed, and in here this is kind of another storage shed. It's got some fans in here. It's kind of set up to just tip anywhere into, but it's however you want to use this particular building. And then we have a silage clamp right here to do our silage for our cows. There you can see the F1 silage information. And that's the pig area. Alright, so now let's take a look around the map itself and see some of the differences between version 4.1 and 5. So the first significant change is down here, where we have the Windy City Grill. Now I think this was on the original map, but it was just a decorative item. I don't think it was actually a sell point. But now this is very much a sell point. This particular sell point takes we buy palleted products, and they buy wool. So if it's on a pallet, they will buy it, and they buy wool right here. So across the street here is kind of a storage area for equipment. If you wanted to store some equipment down here to kind of help facilitate working maybe fields 14, 15, 13, 34, 19, and 20 and such, then you could park your equipment down here. We have water here. We have fertilizer and seed over there. Actually, this may be liquid fertilizer. This tank is used often for liquid fertilizer as well as water, so it's hard to tell what that is. Alrighty. So we have a little residential area here. And now another pretty big change from previous versions of this map is right down here, where we have now some greenhouses that before used to be kind of a farm storage area. You see there's a sign that says Jenny's Jungle. Go over the railroad tracks, we open our gate. And we make our way down this dirty dirt road. It's a little bumpy here. There's an entrance to a field that we own. And there is another field that we own. And here is Jenny's Jungle. So we have a storage shed here, like the one on the farm. And then we have a strawberry greenhouse, a raspberry greenhouse, and This is red Currants Greenhouse, and the way these greenhouses work is they take manure, they take a pallet of cardboard, they take pallets of pallets, and they take water, and they output pallets of fruit. So the pallets will spawn here. You'll put your manure here. You'll put your water here. Give you a guess as to what goes here. Maybe pallets. And maybe your cardboard pallets go here. So once you have all those in place, you'll start getting your fruit pallets. And then up here we have an outhouse. But more specifically, we have storage sheds, our storage facilities for our raspberries, our red currants, and our strawberries. And thankfully everything is labeled and marked so we know which building goes where. And again, the way these buildings work is you bring your full pallet of fruit here and you put them on this side of the storage building, and on this side is where you get the product out. Okay, so that's Jenny's Jungle. That's a new aspect to this map, version 5. Alrighty, let's keep on getting on with the tour. We've got a lot still to cover. So if you like to do industries, then this map now has a lot to offer you. Before, it really didn't have any industries. It was just pure farming. So here we have our Denton Bakery, which is a sell point. And you would just pull on up here and tip in. There are some other buildings up here, but I don't think that they serve any purpose other than just setting the stage for a shopping center, strip mall type area. Oh, I am completely missed the milk sell point, which is back here. That is a new aspect of the map, and I completely missed it. So there is where we will sell our milk. Thankfully, it's not too terribly far from our cow area, which is up there just north of field 34, and we're down here just north of field 12. Whoa. That's what I get for trying to drive with the keyboard. So over here we have our spinnery where we can sell wool. So we have two sell points for wool, and the spinnery sell point is probably, the wool sell point is probably around back. Yep, right there it is. We buy wool. Alrighty then. So, directly ahead of us is the sawmill. To our right here is one of our fields. It's a little square field, field number 21. So here we have the standard Farm Sim 17 sawmill, or so we think. We take wood chips here, and whoa, we take some other stuff here. So we now buy lumber pallets of lumber wood, buy pallets of pallets, and pallets of cardboard can be sold here. So then over here we have a sell point for logs righty there. We have our log pond right there. Now, I will note that that train is a Union Pacific train. That is not the train that comes with the map. I have skinned my train for some of the play series that I do. So that is not how the train will look on your map. That is simply what I have skinned the default train to look like on my game. So we have a working crane over here, should we so wish to play the crane game for our logs. Alrighty. So here we have another sell point. I tip up and down. I just keep on motoring. So here we have a Biofuel Refinery. Alright, so we bring in canola, tip it in here. We'll get forage out of here. We will get biodiesel out of here. And we will get slurry out of here. So this is where we can make our own biofuel. Now this is a new area over here. We have a sign. It says this is the Pallet Factory. And there are 2 pallet factories here. The way this works is you would bring your logs in, put your logs here, and that's the only thing you need for this pallet factory to work, and you'll get pallets of pallets spawning here. And another byproduct of this sawmill, or this pallet factory, is wood chips, which can be pulled out right there. And we have 2 of those structures. And we have a pallet storage building here, so you can store your excess pallets right here. Now, this whole section is new. This was a part of a field, I believe. So here we have a fuel sell point where we can sell our biodiesel. We also have a standard nugget. We also have our standard fuel station here, so we can refuel our tractors, our trucks. This is where we buy our animals if we wish to pick them up and have them transported to our farm, if we want to transport them ourselves. So right here is where we would do that. Oops. Alrighty. So we're on our way back up to where the store is, and we will go past the store, past our farm entrance, and make our way to the north side of the map. So there's a sell point right here, right across from the store. And right across, basically right across from your main farm. So you couldn't have a more convenient sell point here, and they also buy slurry. So you can see another new addition to the map up here is the dairy. This is clearly where you can deliver milk to do something. Let's go up here and figure out what this dairy does. So this area was carved out of a field. that was previously here, and we have a nice sign here. It says Serenity Valley, and it says Farm Fresh Dairy. Alright, so this is the information board. So this takes milk. That's what milch is. That's milk. And we get cheese and homogenized milk out. So somewhere around here we should see a milk fill point. Alright, this looks like that's where we get one of our products. Another of our products will spawn there. And maybe here. Here's where we will put our milk to get this particular facility up and running. So this facility does not buy milk. We can simply deliver milk here to produce some products that are then purchased at the bakery, I believe, and the diner. So the bakery buys straight up milk, as does the Windy City Grill. I don't know if this is the homogenized milk and this is the cheese. Alright. So the only thing that way is a train transfer station. No real need to go over there and look at that. So if we go this way, we have a sell point. So field 30 is the biggest field on the map. We'll take a look at that field as far as field size goes. So this sell point, you have a bridge over a pond or a little lake area. You'd come around here and just make a loop and nugget. There we go. And come back down, and here we are, off on our way. So we have train tracks off here to our right, and a cliff, and then a field that's elevated there. This is our big field 30 that's off to our left. We have a train bridge crossing over this road. While most of the fields and most of the map is fairly flat, there's a couple fields that have some nice interesting lay to them, and this is one of those fields, field 3, where it's basically, this is the low point, and then the field just goes up over those over that rise. Alrighty. So we have a sugar factory coming up here. So here we have a nice sign for our sugar factory. See, we have spinning fans. Alright, so our sugar factory takes sugar beets, water, and empty pallets, and we get molasses, sugar, and bagasse out. And what's interesting to note is that the bagasse product can be used as power food. So let's take a look at our animal area, and you can see here we have power food and now bagasse added as a food element. So you'll get your sugar pallets here, you'll get molasses pallets here, and then your bagasse you can just pour out into a tipper there. If we go around this side of the building, here's where we put our pallets, here's where we put our water, and if you're not really sure what goes in here, I'll give you a hint. It's sugar beets. Alright. So let's keep on with the tour. Oh! Watch it, buddy. So off to our left and right we have two fields. We again have big field 30 right here off to our side. Our BGA is coming up. Our BGA is right down from the store, so to the left of the BGA is the store there. And directly across the way there is our farm, just to give you a little point of reference. So let's, where's Field 30's icon? It's not way up there, is it? Alright, it's right in front of us. It's that icon way off there in the distance. So, let's see how big Field 30 is. So Field 30 is 29.4 hectares and $2.3 million. Come on, I'm waiting on you. Alright, you're just slow, so I'm just going to pass. So again, our BGA has been reworked. It no longer has silage bunkers. Instead, it has two fermentation silos and a digestate separator. The digestate separator will provide you with biofuel and solid fertilizer. So here is our BGA area. We have our Silo King to sell our silage at. We have our scale and our digestate tank over there. We have a nice storage building here. Our storage shed, two storage sheds to store any equipment we may leave down here. This is the digestate separator, and again it takes digestate in and fuel and fertilizer come out. So this is obviously where the fuel comes out. This is where your digestate goes in, and this is where your fertilizer will pile. And then we have two fermentation silos here, and the way these work is you would come in here, these bollards will drop as you come close. You will tip your chaff, hay, or grass into here. This particular silo also takes bales, so you could drop bales in here. You get digestate out here, and you get silage out of the pipe here. So let's take a look at the information screen. Grass, hay, or chaff, that's correct. And you get digestate and silage. So that's the new envisioned BGA here on Serenity Valley. Alright guys, we're almost done. We have just a couple more places to look at here. So field 31 right here is a big grass field that you own. And this is a defined field, so you will be able to fertilize this grass. You can see it's a very large field. So we've just got 2 sell points to look at and a couple more factories areas, and then we will be done our map tour of Serenity Valley. There are trains on this map, but we will not be doing a train tour of this map today, because basically if you've seen the other version of this map's first impressions video, then we've had the train tour on that video. So right here to our right, and we're just going to cut across. This is our train only sell point, so you'll have to put your products in the train to get to this area. Here we have one of the 2 forestry areas on the map. I try to not run into a tree. Oh, alright. So here we have our lumber mill. We didn't see this earlier. This is where we get pallets of boards, or board pallets. So you drop your logs in here. You would drop wood chips or wool, or possibly even straw in here as fuel. This area you get wood chips out as you get your lumber, and here's where you get your pallets of lumber that will spawn. So let's take a look at the information screen. So fuels, which could be wood chips, straw, or wool, although I have no idea why you would want to use wool in here when you have wool is such a valuable commodity somewhere else. This is also a sell point, so you can. Oh no, this is not a sell point. This is a transfer station. There's our train. All right, so let's get back to our gator. And we'll go down where our cardboard and our pallet factory is. So guys, what do you think of this map? Leave a comment. Here's where you can also, that's the sell point that I was trying to get to. Leave a comment on what you think of this map. Have you played previous versions of this map? If you have, what do you think of this version versus those versions? Personally, I think this version is very nice. I like it. But then again, I am a little preferential because I do happen to know that my iteration of Serenity Valley that we're playing in our Let's Play series, this map this version of the map was inspired by the edits that I made and the play series that I'm doing. So I'm a little partial, I guess, towards this version because lots of the industries that I'm using have been added to this map. Now, I think Rockhound has done a great job in putting these industries in to an already completed map, and as a result of doing that, he's not it doesn't feel like these things have just been tossed in. It really feels like these areas are maybe how they were intended from the get-go. You know, they don't feel just like added after the fact as afterthoughts. The map has been completely reworked in some areas to make those zones work and make those zones fit within the aesthetic of the map itself. So in previous versions, we had a silo here, and some of these storage buildings were here, but these 2 facilities were not here. This one will do solid fertilizer, I believe. Let's take a look. Alright, so this one does seeds. So you put fertilizer in here, Yeah, you put fertilizer in here, you put manure in here, and you get seeds out the pipe. This one does liquid fertilizer. You put fertilizer in here, and you put water in here, and you get liquid fertilizer. Now in here, we have our 2 tree harvesters. There's our Ponzi buffalo. There's our semi and our log trailer. And we have an empty bay. Let's see, do we have anything in these? It's empty. That's part of that side, so these are empty. So over here we have our cardboard factory. So our cardboard pallets will come out here. Our cardboard factory takes pallets of pallets as well as wood chips. You put your wood chips in here, you put your pallets there, and like I said, you get your cardboard pallets spawning there. We have some more storage buildings over here. Here is a storage place for your extra cardboard. And over here we have a dairy factory. This dairy factory produces lots of products. It produces 4 different products, and it takes 5 different inputs. So it takes cardboard here, milk here, pallets, sugar, and fruit. And on this side, we will get butter, sweetened milk, yogurt, and a product called kefir, which, as what I understand, is kind of a sweetened, soured like product. It's kind of like cottage cheese, but it's not really cottage cheese. It's called kefir. So that product is basically exported out of the country. So that's the map, guys. That's Serenity Valley version 5. What do you think of the map? Let me know. Let Rockhound know. I know that he watches and monitors videos that deal with Serenity Valley. So let us know what you all think of the map. And until next time, guys, happy farming.